Oh, welcome to News Stripped Down, where I dig through the news and weed out all the nonsense so you guys don't have to. 30 minutes or less. Why? Because anything longer than that's probably just BS, anyways. Oh, yeah, you guys. Today is May 13th, 2026. It's hump day, you guys. It's Wednesday. Well, getting through the week. We're halfway there. Well, almost halfway through there. It is 23 degrees Celsius here in southwestern Manitoba. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, finally, gardeners are going to be happy. The weather's starting to turn out pretty good. No suspected snow in the forecast. So that 23 degrees Celsius, that's 73.4 degrees Fahrenheit to you guys down in the States. Let's start off with some birthdays. Sorry, today is a hump day. Is a little weak for the news for me today. I couldn't get anything about the King's speech or anything today, so we'll get into that later this week, I guess. So birthdays today, May 13th in 1931, Jim Jones. Jim Jones. Oh, Jim Jones. I had to start with him, eh? Really, there's no other birthdays before that? Okay, yeah. Jim Jones, born 1931, died in 1978 at the age of 47. Probably remember Jim Jones in Guyana. He was removed from the United States because of his rhetoric and his so-called cult he had. Famously known for, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Jim Jones, aka Jonestown. I'm not going to speak any part of that, but there's pretty significant right there that Jonestown BS. And today, May 13th, 1937, Canadian writer Roche Carrier. He is famously known for writing he's a famous Canadian writer, famously known for the book The Hockey Sweater. Pretty much any Canadian kid growing up through like 80s, 90s, all read this book. It was a given. The Hockey Sweater is a orders a sweater through Eaton's catalog, or is a Hudson Bay company, I believe, orders a sweater, a hockey sweater, and instead of getting a was it he gets a Maple Leafs jersey instead of a Canadian Canucks jersey, and yeah, that's what the book is about. It's a children's book, really good book, and he passed at the age of 89. Yeah, shout out. Hey, BC. And then today in 1968, Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison, yeah, 58 years old today. And then 1983, Timit Guru. Yeah, she's interesting character. She's 43 years old today. She was part of the ethical AI team that worked at Google, and then when she left in 2020, left Google, it kind of sparked a lot of questions about Google's like ethics and how they were using their data like for people. So yeah, Timit Guru or Gurbu, sorry, she's a female. And then today, Stevie Wonder is 76, born in 1950. Dennis Rodman's birthday, also famously known for playing with the Chicago Bulls alongside Michael Jordan. Sorry, I best remember him in the movie with Jean Claude Van Damme, Double Team in 1997. I don't know, it was a good movie. I don't mind Jean Claude Van Damme, but to see like Dennis Rodman and Jean Claude Van Damme together, that is like the weirdest mix. Like right there, that cover is what sold me right there. It's like you have to watch this if Dennis Rodman's in this. So yeah, happy birthday, Dennis Rodman. He's 65 today. And Stephen Colbert is 62 years old today. He took over the Late Show and replaced the respectable David Letterman. Yeah, 62 years old today. And today, Lena Dunham is 40 years old, actress and writer, producer, and creator, and star of the HBO TV series Girls. And English actor Robert Pattinson is 40 years old today. He played Edward Cullen in the Twilight Saga. Yeah, one of those pretty boy faces, that you see. What's up, DJ? I helped you out as much as I could, DJ, the other day. I even sent Tolga over there. And trust me, Tolga's, you're going to think he's an AI bot, but trust me, he's a real person. And he's from Turkey. And then today, country singer, songwriter Morgan Wallace is 33 years old today, famously known for completing the TV show The Voice. So that's it for birthdays today. I can't believe I started off with birthdays with Jim Jones. Like, what a way to start the show. Jim Jones, Jonestown. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Yeah, don't drink the Kool-Aid. And I'll leave those things off to the end there. So some international news here today. So China is rejecting canola oil shipments and canola seed shipments from Russia, Kazakhstan, and Belarus. This is also known as the Black Sea seed shipments, due to the fact that all of these countries are along the Black Sea there. So China has rejected 88 shipments totaling 620 or 6,271 tons during its first 3 months in 2026. That's up 38 rejection or up from the 38 rejections in 2025. That's total year. 38 rejections. That was last year. And then to 2024, there was only 10 rejections. And this is due to them finding GMO. So some type of genetically modified organisms in there. So not really good for Russia. Yes, Russia and Kazakhstan and Belarus, yes, they're part of the competing market for Canada due to the fact that they're paying less tariffs because of their relationship with China. But with things happening like this right now, seems like China's starting to make a major shift towards Canada here. Uh, and like, and the reason that we're paying these tariffs on Canadian canola seed right now is because of the electric vehicles that were coming to Canada and the 100% tariffs kind of enacted alongside with the US to kind of like save the automotive industry. But until Carney went there, our canola seed and canola oil was being tariffed up to 84%. And then after Carney's visit, his went down to 15%. So that's a big change after Carney had sat down with Xi Jinping there. And then Carney also lowered the 100% tariffs on electric vehicles that aligned with the US and lowered it down to only 6.1%. And they're only going to allow 49,000 electric vehicles into the country. So yes, he helped out a larger market. I know there's still going to be a lot of people in the automotive industry that are not very happy with this deal, but you got to give a little to get a little. And with farmers, trust, there's a lot more farmers out there than there is automakers. So to sit there and get the tariffs down to around 15% and making a deal on the 6.1% tariffs on electric vehicles, it's a give a little, get a little. And really, I think we got a lot out of that. Like going down from 84% down to 15%, that is a massive jump. Take it, just take it. Hey Rob, how's it going? So yeah, this is going to be huge for the Canadian market right now. So good for farmers, good for Canada, because now there's going to be another open market here for China to start exporting more canola seed, more canola oil into the Chinese market. And over to Europe, to the EU, the European Commission is pushing plans to charge airlines for carbon emissions for international flights, despite the risks of more tensions with the US and opposition from carriers that are already facing high jet fuel costs. So yeah, so now the EU, they want to start jumping up that price around now. And then does it really make any sense that they're just going to do it to international flights? Yes, they are charging more carbon prices on flights within, the region there. So I don't know. I'm going to have to keep an eye on this. I really don't see like the Americas really having too much grief with this because they have their own airlines and stuff. I think what the real issue is going to come down to is when American Airlines get to the EU and stuff and then refill there. So maybe they'll find other alternatives to refill their aircraft, but we'll see what happens, especially with Trump being in China right now. And then down into the United States, down Texas specifically, Netflix is under fire with a new lawsuit that started stating that Netflix was collecting user data specifically from children without permission. Texas officials are saying that it violates state privacy laws. And this kind of plays into Canada's Bill C-22 right now. And that has to do with how data and privacy policies work throughout Canada and how police and intelligence agencies have access to our personal data. The C-22, it's kind of aligning. So it'd be interesting to see what Canada is going to do with Netflix. And if you think it's just Netflix that are taking our data and selling it and using it for profit, you can't just leave Netflix and then go over to Paramount and think you're going to be free and clear. Trust me, if Netflix is doing it, Paramount's doing it too. Pretty much any company that has the ability to collect your data is selling it. It's just who, when, and where is the real question right now. And with Netflix being under fire from Texas right now, Texas lawmakers, I could see Paramount and these other companies starting to fall into this group now as well. So yeah, it's just getting messy, you guys. This whole data collection nonsense, and like, first of all, if they're going to be using our data and selling it for profit, then they should be paying us to be using their platforms. Like, am I wrong? Like, you get paid to do everything else. Like, you're using our data and then you could be using it against us. So I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say about all this. This whole new data world we're getting into is definitely going to become a major issue. And I'm not even just talking about data centers, just how this information is going to be used for these big companies. Oh, and then back over to Canada, Alberta Premier Danielle Smith, Prime Minister Mark Carney signed a memorandum of understanding. That's just a formal agreement. It's not legally binding that would deal with industrial carbon pricing. The original agreement was supposed to be $170 per ton by 2030 and has now changed to $130 per ton by 2040. So that's quite a significant change. This is going to start like bumping up production, start getting like projects going, like our oil industry back up and running, getting it to where it should have been before the Trudeau government came in and started slashing everything down. But remember, this is just an agreement. And part of this agreement, there's still 2 or 3 things that still need to be dealt with before Carney goes to Alberta on Friday and announces this. And I could probably tell you what 2 of the 3 things are right now that need to be dealt with. And right off the top of my head, it's going to be the voter fraud that's going to be brought up and how that got leaked out, and the separation thing. Those are definitely going to be the 2 things that are going to be brought up in this conversation and that are going to have to be dealt with. And then to you guys, the separatists in Alberta, is look at Smith. She's a Trojan horse. You guys think you're getting something. She's just giving you little bits and little scraps to keep you happy right now. And meanwhile, she's signing deals with Prime Minister Carney right now to get things up and going. And don't tell me she's not going to come out on top of this. And she's just going to leave you all behind. And she's just making everyone seem like they're getting a piece of the pie, and really all you're getting is a crust. So I don't know what to say about this. You know, you separatists, you guys make me laugh. It's like, yeah, we got this, we got this. It's like, you know what? Quebec tried it already. It didn't work. And then even so, right now, look at Quebec. You think if Alberta is prepared to separate, you think Quebec would jump back on that bandwagon? You know, be like, hey, well, we should separate again too. Yeah, yeah, it didn't work out very good the first time. And you think you separatists in Alberta, you think it's gonna work out for you guys? Not a chance. And you guys are gonna be locked up in courts dealing with the Aboriginals forever. You're not gonna get that land. You're not gonna separate. It's so funny. It's just people. I don't know where some of these people are thinking. Like really. And people from BC, you probably understand what I'm saying. Like, this is so asinine. It doesn't make any sense. And I don't know. I think some of these people should go have a lobotomy. And like I said, Trump is in China right now. Yeah, meeting with Xi Jinping. His arrival in China didn't look too welcoming there. He was expecting Xi Jinping to be standing there waiting for him, and he didn't look too happy getting off the plane there. There's some real big meetings supposed to be planned for Thursday. I didn't think Trump was actually going to last till today. And the news reports I'm getting right now aren't talking about him arriving yesterday. They're talking about him arriving today. But he did arrive yesterday. So I don't know why the media is like kind of a day behind on this stuff. Like, you can't blame it on the time change. So yeah, Thursday is going to be where all the big meetings are going to be happening between Trump, Xi Jinping, and Trump brought in some investors and some big wigs, some from some giant corporations to see if they could make some deals. Um, so yeah, we'll see. Things are going to start to heat up on Thursday. So we'll see what happens then. But that's pretty much it for the news. I was trying to find the King's speech today. I didn't find anything on the King's speech. I know he was going to start talking about unemployment and carbon taxes, quite a few things, and a lot of cuts that they want to do throughout the country. But I have yet to be able to find anything about the King's speech. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure Prince Charles is probably sitting there sweating right now over this Trump being in China. You know, like he's probably telling everyone that we need to stay together as a global community. It's like, I don't know. You guys in the UK, sorry, Carn or Charles and Keir Starmer there. I don't know. Your rapport that you have with Trump here seems like it's going to be on the outs. And you know what Trump's thoughts are on the monarchy. Yeah, he would love to see that just come to an end totally. And it wouldn't be the first time that the British monarch has been without a king for a significant time. Was it in the late 1800s there? Britain was without a king for almost 10 years. So countries seemed to do okay with that back then. So even if something did happen to King Charles, I think the country could probably have a, you know, better look ahead. Uh, just my perspective from the outside. So yeah, interesting. I think tomorrow is going to be some really big news. Probably won't talk about everything tomorrow, but I do want to get that King's speech and see what he wants to do with the British people here, because just by the outlines of what he wanted to talk about, it didn't look very good for the British people right now. And like I had mentioned earlier, yeah, the UK, you guys have had the worst luck in like last couple of years when it comes to picking a prime minister. Like, it's just not a good place for you guys. And I guess I'll end everything. Yeah, I'll end everything on things that happened today in history. Oh yeah, there was an article I was going to talk about Australia, but I didn't. But this would tie in. Today on May 13th, 1787, the first fleet headed by Arthur Phillip set sail with 11 ships full of convicts for Botany Bay, Australia. And Kate, how this happened, okay, everyone always says that Australia was built on built by criminals. Okay, so here's the background if you don't know how this all started. Okay, so during the 1770s and 1770, or sorry, 1770 and 1780, the industrial industry started to shine with workers being replaced by machines, and the use of Britain's Enclosure Act also forced small-time farmers off their land to expand their agricultural holdings. This created a lot of crime during this period, and it just crammed the jails to their max, and they had nothing to do with their prisoners. So what they did is they started refurbishing old sailboats and started putting prisoners on these boats, and they'd sail these ships out to the ocean and anchor them there because they had no room to put these convicts from Britain. And you have to realize this is because of the industrial age. This is what happened. And this kind of plays into what's happening right now. We're in a new industrial age where technology is going to be taking our jobs. And we're going to start to see crime rates skyrocket. If it happened in 1770 to 1778, or sorry, 1780, you gotta, it's the same thing happening over again. We're just repeating ourselves. Like, so what they ended up doing, they couldn't keep building these ships, refurbishing these ships and putting people on them and just leaving them out in the ocean. It just wasn't working. So what they ended up doing is taking these 11 ships and sailing them to Australia and just dumping them there. So out of sight, out of mind. But why Australia of all places? You know, like, but that's how this all started. So we're in a new industrial age, you guys. So if crime skyrocketed because of the industrial age back then, it's possibly going to happen right now. And well, it is happening right now. We're watching crime rates happen. We're watching jobs start to fall through the floor. We have a lot of people that are very insecure about what they're going to have for the future due to the fact that they don't know if they're going to have a job or not. A lot of people are getting, you know, replaced by AI. A lot of people being replaced with, you know, new technology, robotics, and with robotic technology that's happening right now. Yeah, we could be the next Australia, you guys. We could be the next Australia. And then today in 1830, the Republic of Ecuador is founded with Jean Jose Flores as president. And then today, May 13th, 1940, Winston Churchill says his first speech as Prime Minister at the British House of Commons. I would say his speech, something blah, blah, blah. My blood, my tears, my soiled feet, blah. I don't know. Just, I don't know. Winston Churchill, he said a lot of things, and a lot of things I didn't agree with him either. I think he was just all about the sound bites. A lot of people liked him. When I dug into his past, I really didn't see him actually really doing anything. I think he put Britain in a really bad spot when it came to World War II. There was a lot more things he could have done. And another thing is, what Winston Churchill did is he allowed some of the brightest, smartest people across Britain to join the military into the SAS for like one-way missions where they knew they were never going to get out alive. So right there, you get a whole generation of a bloodline gone. And this is one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of Winston Churchill. He pretty much used that to his agenda to get rid of the people that he felt that could affect the monarchy. And yeah, not a big fan of him. And then today in 1981, the Pope was shot. What is this? What Pope is this? Pope John Paul II was shot at the Vatican Square by a Turkish assassin. John Paul II survived until 2005, passing at the age of 84. Yeah, and this assassin, he was an assassin out of Turkey. So yeah, he was known for assassinating a journalist as well. But yeah, he was definitely taken care of. And then today, May 13th, 1989, 2,000 Chinese students begun a hunger strike to force a dialogue with the Chinese government, and they did this at famous Tiananmen Square. If you guys don't remember Tiananmen Square, yeah, that was a brutal time where we had clashes between students and the Chinese government on, more freedoms, more free speech, better schooling, and the cost of schooling as well. It's really really upset a lot of people, especially students. And there were a lot of people that had lost their lives during that Tiananmen Square incident. Tiananmen Square, trying to get a visual of it, Tiananmen Square is where that guy is standing in front of the tank holding his groceries, stopping tanks from going down the street. And yeah, you can guess what happened to him after. He was taken care of and dealt with swiftly. And then today in 2004, TV series Frasier ends with its last episode with 33 million people watching. And today in music, 1767, Wolfgang Mozart, first opera, Apollo, written when he was only 11, was premiered in Salzburg. Salzburg, I believe that's Germany. Salzburg, Germany. And today in 1950, the first ever Formula One World Championship runs at Silverstone, England. And it ended up being won by Giuseppe Ferriana of Italy. And he won that in an Alfa Romeo. Yeah, not too many Americans probably know what an Alfa Romeo is. I know what a Fiat is. A Fiat is a fix it again, Tony. I guess all the mechanics' names were Tony. Plots come from. But that's it for the news today, you guys. Sorry, it's a little bit short for news stuff. I really wanted to dig into that Prince Charles speech that he did today, and I was hoping there was going to be more information about what Trump's dealing with in China and what's going to be brought up there. But it is what it is. That's the news for today. Not really anything else important that I could find. Still a lot of talk about the hantavirus, Iran conflict. Yeah, there's just a lot of just nonsense. But you know what we don't hear about in the news anymore? Epstein. Wow, thank goodness. Anyone getting brain rot from that yet? Like, if we're gonna start releasing files, let's actually put out some files that actually mean something. Especially these UFO files that they released. Oh, these we're gonna release these photos and these videos. These videos and photos are old. They aren't new. Like, I knew instantly as soon as I looked at a couple of pictures. I was like, this is what they're giving us. And then what did Trump say? I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna allow the public to sit there and figure it out for themselves. What kind of answer is that? You're just gonna let the public figure it out for themselves? Then you might as well just not hand it out the data because they're already making up their minds for themselves. Ugh. And then these scientists that are disappearing, it's not aliens that are taking these people. Okay, like, you guys think logically. People start disappearing. What normally happens? It's somebody else who made them disappear. Might as well just say Samantha Guthrie's mom was kidnapped by aliens. Because that sounds stupid. Now listen to how you sound that all these scientists are being kidnapped. No, it has to be dealt with. Somebody is a part of this. It's not aliens, you guys. But that's it for the news today. Wednesday. Beautiful day today, though. Beautiful. 23 degrees Celsius. Yeah, so nice outside. I might go for a little bit of hike. 23 degrees, that's 73.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Beautiful day. But yeah, I'm going to head over to News Strip Down and do a pre-recorded over there. But yeah, guys, head over to News Strip Down so I can get 50 subs on there because I really don't like doing pre-recorded stuff. It just doesn't feel like the same thing. It doesn't feel as real or personable. You know what I mean? Doesn't I don't it, I don't get the validation out of it doing pre-recorded stuff. But it does help with the algorithm putting in pre-recorded stuff, and I don't know why that helps the algorithm more than it would doing a live stream. But it's just the way the YouTube world works. It is what it is. I know there's another guy, Desert Armory, was talking about that this morning, and how he's been having problems with YouTube and how the algorithm isn't working out for him, and he's losing subscribers for some reason. Yeah, but that's just YouTube for you, and you do realize that they have their own agenda to push too. But I'm out of here. I'll be back for Thursday's show, 4 to 4:30 p.m. Central Time, 30 minutes or less. Why? Because anything longer than that's probably just BS anyways. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and thank you all for tuning in. And yeah, uh, hit the like button, subscribe. Doesn't kill you to subscribe, but really, if you're gonna subscribe, go over to this new strip down. You should be able to just type it right into YouTube, and it's right there. Once you see the logo, you'll know it's me. If I can get 50 subs on there, start doing lives on there. And I do have a few people I want to bring on the show though too. Some people from like CFS talk about Child Family Services and how that agreement's working throughout Canada, and if it's actually beneficial to even have Child Family Services. And then the people who are looking after kids under Child Family Services. But yeah, I got a lot of plans for this channel here, you guys. But I'd really like people to start shifting over, if you could, please and thank you. But I'm out of here, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, and everyone, just be happy. Just be good. And if somebody pisses you off, just walk away. Don't start an argument, because arguments never get you anywhere. And that's pretty much what this whole world is about right now: is blood, guts, and arguments. So let's try and shed that away from our souls, and think about how we can change the world little bits at a time. Okay, peace out. Walk, 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 walk.